If you have 45 minutes of your time,
Then go watch part 1 and 2.
Well, I'm probably going to lose subscribers for this, but coming up on my number 5 spot, we got Transformers 1. I know. I could already see you clicking that dislike button. But before diving into Transformers 1, from the trailers, they made this movie look like a dumb, unfunny kids movie with a bunch of unfunny jokes. But then I did started hearing some good reviews and everything about Transformers 1, so I thought to myself, you know what? I'll go see it. And hell, in my city and my local cinema, they were showing a early screening of the movie, because in my country, for some reason, the movie came out in October, but I watched it in September. But when I came out of it, I just thought to myself, okay, that was a alright Transformers movie. It wasn't anything bad, but at the same time, it wasn't anything good either. So, first of all, I didn't really like the voice acting in this movie, and I know what you guys are going to say. Wait, but the Marvel nerd. What about Brian Tyree Henry's voice performance, because he does such an excellent performance at the end when he plays as Megatron. Okay, to be fair, Brian Tyree Henry does do a good voice performance as Megatron at the end of the movie, or not the end, but towards the climax of the movie. But in the beginning, none of the characters, okay, just like how I said in my Transformers 1 review, which you could click over here, I didn't like the voice acting because they didn't sound like robots. They just sounded like the characters themselves. And every time when either Optimus Prime, or should I say Orion Pax, or Megatron, okay, I forgot what Megatron was called. I think it was D16. Yep, D16. Whenever they were talking, all I could hear was just Chris Hemsworth, Brian Tyree Henry, and Scarlett Johansson, and Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee. And speaking of, oh my days, they made Bumblebee very irritating in this movie.
Badassatron.
Shut your bitch ass up!
Like, literally every single scene which Bumblebee was in, I just wanted some random Transformer to go like, shut your bitch ass up, please. Seriously. Like, he would never shut up. Oh yeah, and like how I said in my Transformers review, the story felt very predictable. The quote-unquote twist villain in this movie, okay, I forgot what his name was, but let's just call him, I don't know, Blue and Golden Prime. When I watched the movie, and when I saw his character, I immediately thought, yeah, this guy is about to be the twist villain. I just know it. And what happens? He becomes the twist villain in this. And also, Megatron's transition from becoming D16 to Megatron, it felt very rushed. It didn't feel like there was any good build-up from the hero to villain transition, or, oh, I'm gonna go my own way. Man, fuck you, Orion, or should I say, Optimus Prime and everyone. Overall, okay, moving on from the from the negatives, because I do feel like I was trashing on this movie a bit. To be fair, outside of the negatives, I enjoyed the animation, thought it was brilliant, and hell, I am curious to see how this whole animated Transformers trilogy is gonna go. Well, it depends, especially since this bombed at the box office. Well, we all gotta blame the marketing team for this. But yeah, overall, I thought it was okay, but I didn't thought that it was great. And hot take, but the opening scene to Bumblebee is 10 times better than this. Sorry. Okay. I know. Coming up on number 4, we got... What's that sound? What in the hell is that? Alien Romulus. Now, just like what I said with Transformers 1, I know that you guys are probably going to hate me for this, but I thought Alien Romulus was alright as well. And the reason why I put it on the list is because, okay, first of all, the characters were very bland in Alien Romulus, and hell, while I was watching the movie, I was sitting there and just predicting who was gonna die first or who was gonna get their face latched on. And I was like, okay, so he gonna die, she gonna die, they gonna die, everybody gonna die, except for the girl, obviously, because, you know, she's supposed to be your quote-unquote Ripley, and maybe the robot guy or the synthetic or whatever the hell. And spoiler alert, but I was right with some of them. Speaking of characters, the main girl character, she was kind of badass, but she wasn't as good as Ripley, though. I felt like the references, okay, no disrespect to my Alien fans out there, but I felt like the references in this movie felt way too forced, where it was just like, oh, that's from this Alien movie, that's from that Alien movie, that's from Aliens. Oh my god, he just said, get away from her, you bitch. Even though this movie, deadass, takes place in between Alien 1 and Aliens, so I don't know why they had to slip that in there. And also, oh my goodness, just like what you guys saw from the TV, I really didn't like how the movie showed like details of the facehuggers and the xenomorphs and like how they and how they do everything and just like what I said in review, those parts made me go, what the fuck? Because seriously, okay, Fede Alvarez, I understand that you're trying to show like the details on how the xenomorph and, okay, I don't even want to go into too much details. I feel sorry for all my viewers out there who are eating. But it was unnecessary. It was literally unnecessary. Like, I kept on just sitting there going like, okay, no, sir. No, sir, that's nasty. I didn't like the scene where one of the girls was pregnant. Well, she injects herself with this xenomorph blood or serum or whatever the hell it was, and then later on in the movie, she gives birth to this monstrosity. And while I was watching that movie, I was just thinking to myself, what? Why? Just why? I don't think this was necessary. Like, sure, it added that extra ending which you would usually see in these Alien movies, but still, like, they could have done something better. And also I don't want to go into details, but actually, never mind. I'll just the images which you see over there is gonna describe why I went. So moving on to positives, I thought that some of the jump scares were solid, and they did get me at times. And hell, I even thought that some of the action scenes were pretty cool. Like, for example, the anti-gravity scene, that was pretty cool, and the whole facehugger chase, that was also pretty cool as well. I was on the edge of my seat. And hell, some of the shots where it's in space looked pretty cool, especially since I watched the movie in IMAX, and it did deliver a really immersive experience. So yeah, but still, Alien Romulus was not my cup of tea. And Aliens rules. Yes, I've seen it. Anyways, on to number 3.
What's up?
God damn it! That stupid face hugger.
Fuck you!
Okay, now with this one, I put this movie in at the last second because I've completely forgotten about it. But coming in at number 3, we got Godzilla x Kong, A New Empire. Now, before diving into this movie, as someone who is like slightly a fan of these MonsterVerse films, to be honest, they're not the best, but they're fun. They're dumb fun movies. But after when Godzilla -1 came out, my perspective of these MonsterVerse films have completely changed. When this was coming out, I was kind of hyped, but at the same time, not too much. But I was still interested though, because this is like a sequel to Godzilla vs. Kong. So I decided, you know what, I'll give it a watch just for the hell of it. Hell, I even watched this with a friend, and he thought it was alright, and me, I just thought that this was meh. And also, Godzilla was barely even in this movie. Like, how could you call yourself Godzilla x Kong, right? When most of the screen time is just dedicated to this man, or ape, monkey, whatever he is. Because he gets most of the screen time in this movie, right? Okay, sure, we do get Godzilla here and there, or at some parts of the beginning, and a few bits during the end of the movie when they were fighting the Scar King. Yeah, and as always with these MonsterVerse films, the human characters, like, why? Honestly, with these MonsterVerse movies, like, why don't they just, I don't know, have one where it's no dialogue and it's just the monsters themselves? Because all of the human characters were so forgettable and stale, and every time when they were on screen, I just kept on zoning out and just pretending like nothing was even happening. I thought that most of the big monster fights looked boring and forgettable compared to the Shanghai or Tokyo fight in Godzilla vs. Kong, because that gave me chills, right? But most of the fight scenes in Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire just looked so dumb. But I feel like there wasn't that much substance in the action, and also most of the shots in this movie are memeable, especially this one, because, why? Why the hell is Kong making like a Rizzler face just because the Scar King lost his teeth? Spoiler alert, well, not really. And overall, the movie was just forgettable. I've only seen Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire once, and after that, like a few weeks later, completely came out of my head. But the last time when this movie did pop into my head was when I played Fortnite, and you can play as Godzilla now in the game. And then I thought, oh yeah, Godzilla x Kong. Why didn't they do that when the movie came out? But overall, let's dive into the positives for this monster fighting movie, I guess. I thought that Suko, you know, the little Kong, or the Diddy Kong. No, not you, Diddy. No, get out of here. I thought he was funny. He was cute, and yeah, just like what I mentioned with some of the action scenes and everything, I thought it was laughably dumb, and yeah, that's Godzilla x Kong: A New Empire. It's not as good as Godzilla -1. It will never be as good as Godzilla -1. None of these MonsterVerse movies will ever be as good as Godzilla -1, and I think I'm probably just gonna stick to the Japanese Godzilla movies, or Kong movies, or Rodan, or whatever they're going to do, because America ain't doing it for me. So, yeah. On to number 2. Coming in at number 2, we got Kinds of Kindness. Now, before diving into Kinds of Kindness, at first I was gonna skip this movie, especially since Yorgos Lanthimos directed this, and when I saw the logo and everything, I just thought to myself, "What is this? A sequel to Poor Things?" And Poor Things wasn't really my cup of tea, but when I saw the trailers. The trailers made me want to watch the movie, especially because of how mysterious it was, and it wasn't explaining the plot. So I thought to myself, you know what? I should go and see this. Maybe just to see how it is, just out of curiosity. Sometimes curiosity can lead to very dark paths. I'll just tell you that. And just like with Poor Things, this was not my cup of tea. First of all, this movie was very nasty and mean-spirited, especially with some of the stories, especially the one where it involved... I don't even want to go into too much details, especially after Alien Romulus, and hell, I'm feeling a massive pit in my... I almost freaking threw up. But yeah, just overall, the entire movie was nasty, but it wasn't as nasty as Poor Things, but it is a tad bit nastier than Poor Things. But anyways, moving on from the gross stuff, the acting in this movie was not my cup of tea either, especially because everyone acted so robotic. Most of the performances felt very one-note and stale, like especially Jesse Plemons in the first story, where every time he was on screen, like it felt like if I was looking at AI, that's it. And also, while I was watching this on Disney Plus, I was just waiting for this movie to freaking end, especially since the movie is like 2 hours and 45 minutes, right? But most of the freaking movie is it's either like characters sitting around or talking, or they're looking at sex tapes. Or they're doing the most revolting and diabolical thing you could think of. And I'm getting really sick and tired of these movies that get so much praise and get Oscar nominations. And then when I watch them, they're just nasty. They're just complete blah. Complete blah. Moving on from the negatives, the cinematography was nice. As always with these art films and with Yorgos Lanthimos movies. And the color grading was also pretty cool as well. I liked how some of it was very like neon, like it had like a very neon summer neon aesthetic. It was pretty cool. And that's it really. This movie was just not for me. Like, next time I see a poster for a movie which has Yorgos Lanthimos in the name, then I'm just not gonna watch it. And also, I'm shocked how this movie is called Kinds of Kindness. Nah, they should have changed the title to freaking Types of Illnesses. Cause seriously, in this movie, I felt like if I was having an illness. So yeah, moving on from Kinds of Kindness, because after talking about Alien Romulus and Kinds of Kindness, now I have a pit in my stomach. So, yeah. On to number 1. For my number 1 mediocre movie of 2024 is a movie which, well, just like with Kinds of Kindness, I was gonna skip, but the difference is, my friend invited me to a birthday party. For his birthday, he wanted to watch this movie with me, and I only came just for the pizza. Oh, he had a good time though, so yeah. And that movie is Venom: The Last Dance. So, first of all, I thought the story for Venom: The Last Dance was kind of dumb, especially since the entire movie was just about Venom and Eddie, or just mainly Venom not trying to transform into this, or else all these symbiote monsters who are sent out by Null are going to go after him because he has this thing called the Codex, which is in his system and everything. And to be honest, I thought the plot was kind of dumb, especially since there were times in the movie where Venom transformed into his full form, like this, like what you're seeing over here, right? And every time when he did, like especially that scene in Vegas, I just kept on thinking, why? Are you dumb? Are you literally that dumb? Like, Null is after you, and meanwhile, you wanna dance with fucking Mrs. Chen? And also, speaking of Null, they completely wasted him. Like, in the entire movie, they set up Null like if he was like the next big Thanos-y villain. But most of the movie he's just sitting there going like, I'm evil. And also, I am definitely gonna come back in Spider-Man 4. And speaking of, what was the point of this movie having post-credit scenes? Like, bruh, this is called The Last Dance. And spoiler alert, but Venom freaking dies in the movie. And some people were saying that the final scenes between Eddie and Venom were sad and heart-wrenching. But for me, it wasn't emotional at all, especially since with the first two Venom films, I didn't got to connect with them emotionally. I just thought that they were just dumb characters with dumb decisions, and that's it. And speaking of the ending, they decided to end the movie like Fast and Furious 7, where it shows like archived footage of the first two Venom movies, and it uses that one song with Maroon 5 called "Memories, Bring Back Yo." And during this entire movie, like me and my other friend who came to the birthday party, while that scene was going on, instead of crying and going like, so emotional, no, instead we were just laughing. We were just like, Sony, instead of doing, I don't know, a live action Miles Morales movie, or Spider-Man 2099, or something what the fans want, like this. We need this. We want this. But we're not gonna get this because you're working on trash like this and this. Seriously, I feel happy that Sony is putting an end to all of these anti-hero Spider-Man-less villain movies, because seriously, there was no point. In the movie, there is like this family who help out Eddie for a bit, but I don't know why they had to be in the movie, or more specifically, I don't know why they had to make these characters so crucial to the story, because most of the time, all they were doing, all these like family hippie characters, all they were just doing is just sitting around going like, oh, we're going to Area 51, yeah, that's what we're going to, hell yeah. And so they help out Eddie and Venom, and they take them to Las Vegas, and just like what I said, the entire Las Vegas scene could have been cut entirely. Yeah, I think my only positive for this movie was that me and my friend, we were just roasting the living hell out of this movie. And to be honest, maybe when I become of age, I'm probably going to watch this movie while being hella drunk. So, yeah, that was Venom: The Last Dance, and that was my mediocre movies list. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in my best list. You already know what's about to happen, so best gods, y'all been waiting an entire year for this, so bring it on. Ah! Oh. I'm here! I'm back! Wait. Why does the stage look so different? Am I even in the Golden Triangle stage? What? Where am I?